It was a warm, golden Saturday evening when I found myself pacing the floor of our quiet living room, the sunlight slipping through the windows and casting long, flickering shadows across the walls. There was a heaviness in my chest I couldn't ignore, an unsettling feeling that gnawed at me. Something was wrong. I could feel it in my bones. Laura had left earlier that day, saying she was going to meet a friend for coffee. She kissed my cheek with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. I wanted to believe her, but deep inside, doubt had already taken root. 4 months now, our marriage had been a hollow echo of what it once was. The warmth, the laughter, the closeness, we had somehow let it all slip through our fingers. And now, that distance between us felt like a silent, widening void. As the hours dragged by, I kept glancing at my phone, hoping for a message from her, yet dreading what it might say. By the time the clock struck 9, an aching knot had settled in my stomach. She should have been home by now. Just as I was about to call her, my phone buzzed with a notification. It was a message from a friend. I opened it casually, not knowing that it would shatter everything. There she was, in a photo, smiling like a woman untouched by guilt. She was holding hands with a man I'd never seen before. They looked happy. Too happy. The caption mocked me, asterisk, looks like Elle is having a great time on her date. Asterisk. My heart thundered against my ribs. I felt like the floor had dropped from beneath me. A cruel wave of betrayal washed over me, mixing hot with disbelief and heartache. She had lied. Again. I stared at the photo numb. So many nights she came home late. So many vague stories about coworkers and errands. I'd given her the benefit of the doubt every time, clinging to the hope that we were just in a rough patch. But this was undeniable. I didn't confront her immediately. I needed more. I needed to see it with my own eyes, to erase any shadow of doubt before I tore our lives apart. So I grabbed my jacket, my keys, and left. The drive to the cafe was a blur. My pulse was erratic. My thoughts spun like a whirlwind of anger and dread. When I finally stepped inside, my eyes scanned the crowded space. Then I saw them, tucked in a quiet corner, almost hidden from view. She was glowing, laughing. Her hand rested lightly on his, their faces only inches apart. It was the kind of intimacy that didn't need words. Her eyes sparkled with a joy I hadn't seen in years, not with me at least. I froze. Watching her like that, I barely recognized the woman I married. In that moment, the memories came crashing in, our first date, the night I proposed, the way she used to look at me like I was her world. Now all of it felt like a cruel illusion. I took a few photos, my hands trembling, and left without being seen. I couldn't bear to stay there, watching my life unravel from a distance. The ride home was silent, but my mind screamed. By the time I reached the house, I was exhausted from the storm inside me. I sat in the dark, waiting, my thoughts 1,000 broken pieces, unsure how to put any of them back together. Sometime past midnight, I heard her key in the door. She walked in humming softly, her face lit up with happiness like nothing had changed. "Hey babe," she said sweetly. "You won't believe how much fun I had tonight." I nodded, forcing a tight smile, my hands clenched in my lap. "Oh really?" I said, keeping my voice neutral. "Who was it with?" "Just a friend from work," she replied too casually. "We caught up over coffee. Nothing serious." I stared at her, trying to see if there was a flicker of guilt in her expression. But she smiled like everything was normal. Like she hadn't just ripped my heart out. I took a slow breath. "That's interesting," I said, reaching for my phone. "Because I got some pictures that tell a different story." Her smile faltered. Confusion crept into her features. "What do you mean?" I showed her the photos. Her face went pale. Her lips parted, but no words came. "You don't need to lie anymore, Laura," I said, voice shaking but firm. "I saw you. I watched you. That wasn't coffee, and he's not just a friend." She stammered, her voice breaking. "I can explain." "Explain what?" I snapped. "How you can stand here and smile like nothing's wrong. Like you didn't just betray everything we built together?" Tears welled up in her eyes, but I was past the point of sympathy. "He's just someone I used to know." "We were reminiscing," she said, her voice trembling. I laughed bitterly. "Reminiscing? About what?" "About how to destroy a marriage." "I didn't mean to hurt you," she pleaded. I was confused. I needed to feel something again." "Feel something?" I echoed. "And you thought the best way to do that was to run into someone else's arms?" She stepped closer, but I moved away. "Don't," I warned. "You don't get to touch me after this." Her face crumpled. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I thought maybe I could feel alive again. "And what about me?" I said, the pain in my voice finally breaking through. What about the man who stood by you, who believed in us when things got hard? I still love you, she whispered. But love isn't enough when you're sneaking around behind my back, I said coldly. You broke something that might never be fixed. She cried harder. What do you want me to do? Cut him off. Completely. Show me this wasn't just a game to you, I said. Prove to me that you want this marriage. That I still matter. I will, she said, wiping her tears. I'll tell him it's over. I'll do whatever it takes. Then do it, I said. Because I won't survive another betrayal. We stood in heavy silence, both of us shaken. She looked at me like she was searching for something. Maybe forgiveness, maybe hope. Can we start fresh? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Please. I want to fight for us. I hesitated. My heart was tired, wounded. But I nodded slowly. One day at a time. She stepped into my arms and I let her. The embrace felt familiar, almost comforting. But deep within me, the scars had only begun to form. That night we talked for hours. About pain. About fear. About the fragile line between love and loneliness. It wouldn't be easy. Rebuilding never is. But maybe, just maybe, if we both kept fighting, we could turn this wreckage into something new. Something real. The future was uncertain. But for the first time in a long while, we were facing it side by side.